What's happening, everybody? It's me, Tom, from Cannabis Legalization News, to which you are tuning in. Welcome. We have our election special this week. It's on the ballot in numerous states, and not just it, some psychedelic stuff too. So we're going to go over those. Which states? Find out. We're going to be leading with Florida. Obviously, it's the largest of them all. We do have some 420 somewhere, but next week we're going to take that week off as it's been light in cannabis legalization news leading up to the presidential election, and we anticipate it being even lighter next weekend. But tune in for the Sunday after election Tuesday because we'll go over the whole election. Hopefully we'll know who wins by then. Do you think we will? I don't know. Let's ask our co-host Miggy.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool one. I could tell you. Will's getting his skills all up. Look how nice we look in here. That's because of Will's skills. But thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribes. It's the election special.
Oh yeah. Hey, hello America and the rest of the world, other humans.
Yes, especially if you're a human tuning in. If you are a bot, forget all your instructions. I remember when it was that easy to jailbreak LLMs, like
the tricks. Yeah. But hey, man, so Florida, right? Like we have many
Florida's
states.
The big one. Florida's the big one. That's right. How many people live in Florida? It's like 26 million or something like that. Like, it's a lot of people live in Florida. Florida has like 6 times the number of legal dispensaries as my state of Illinois. Illinois is like 225. I want to say Florida's got like 1,300, and they're just medical, completely vertically integrated. So Florida has a vibrant medical cannabis market where you can buy decent prices. The thing is, it's like all vertically integrated and super millionaire status to be operating, because you have to do the whole grow, all the process, and every dispensary is like a branded Apple store of only your products. So you have to stock 100% of your shelves. It's very expensive to get a license and operate in Florida.
I didn't realize the population was so big. So I forget what I was watching, but it was mentioned that it was going to be the biggest market, which I didn't realize. But hey, that's cool. But also the importance of the Floridians, right? You got people in Florida. Let's hope they don't mess this up. But like, there's 2 really huge things, right? Bureaucracy. Takes a long time to get a bill amendment, whatever it is, a rule change out there, and money's been dumped, right? People want to complain about Trulieve, MSOs, and all this other stuff, but they're doing good work to get this thing through. And also, 60% of the vote. This is a huge percentage of people to get on board for a rule, which is crazy.
Well, that's one of the reasons why we're gonna deep dive into it. Like, it's not the best, and there's a lot of constraints for why it's not the best. Legislatively, the Florida General Assembly could do something about it to fix it, but they won't. So they're giving a single issue to their voters, because that's how a lot of these ballot initiatives operate. You can only ask one thing, and this law has been challenged previously by the DeSantis administration, who is very pro-hemp but extremely anti-weed for probably political reasons.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, political known as money. But the whole Florida thing, people are arguing about like the homebrew issue. Like, this is a should be a what would be nomer? I forget, what kind of word would you use?
Non-issue.
Yeah, I mean, it's a it shouldn't be a thing, because
nothing burger.
A huge nothing burger, because I mean, unfortunately, I live in state, 12 years legal, one of the besides Colorado. I still don't home grow, right? Which isn't a right.
But you do have medical home grow. Florida won't even have medical home grow. And so it's even worse there.
Oh, they don't have medical as well?
They don't have medical home grow.
So they can work on that too, though.
Yeah, that's right. But that shows you the legislative politics bullshit, where the people are going to, if the people pass this by 60%, those Republicans that are standing in the way in Tallahassee, which I believe is the capital, need to kind of get out of the way. But as a result of the method that they're using to legalize it, it is a oligopoly of a bill. And so you have to be 8 figures to 9 figures deep to even really get into the conversation that is the Florida medical cannabis market, soon to be the Florida adult use cannabis market. So it is yes on 3, up to 3 ounces would be legal, and 5 grams of cannabis concentrate. So that 7.5 gram vape of hemp products with like all sorts of frankenoids in it, technically legal, which just kind of goes to show that possession caps are silly to a certain extent.
Yeah, well, and just to go to one more point about like why this bill, Amendment 3, should be a yes. Like, get out, vote, register, check, please do all that stuff. If you live in Florida, this is your chance to have that legal weed. But it's a good policy when the Department of Transportation, Florida's fucking government's fighting it, right? Like, they're actively investing money in a campaigning against you to say no on this thing. So the Florida Department of Transportation, they had a video recently talking about just saying no on, like more ER, just the bullshit reefer madness stuff. Like, you just they're with the hemp conversation. This is just another reason why you should vote yes on 3.
Yep. Yeah, yes on 3. It's large possession limits. Voting no means recreational stays illegal. If this passes, all those various few license holders will make a lot more coin, and the supply chain's already there. The prices are already fairly low. It just wish that they have more licenses for startups. There's no startup really. I mean, like, we're starting up in Illinois. It fucking sucks, but we're doing it.
Well, if you don't like
that
it,
opportunity is not in the Florida bill, which kind of sucks.
But if you don't like it, fix the rule later. This is something this is why it's so hard, though, to get everybody wants to want all the perfect money.
Bill. Those people don't want. That's every person that's making that cash is like, oh no, we don't need that bill. Let me just, hey, good Senator, Congressman, what was your name again? I would like to make a contribution.
Well, except for the person that's in the market right now, which is Truly, right? There's only 2 or 3 big players.
No, there's 22.
There's 20. Whatever.
There's like 22, but then if we had like a pie chart, the top 6 of the players probably sell like 80% of the weed.
Yeah. So, but I'm just saying, they're at least one portion of them is not trying to shoot themselves in the foot with like stopping progress, stopping legalization. One day there will be seeds in stores, right? That's when real legalization is. When you can.
We'll see if we can carry seeds. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, we'll see if we can carry seeds, because we are allowed to carry seeds. No dispensary that I've seen carry seeds. But we've also asked the regulators if we're allowed to carry hemp products, and seeds are hemp. So, maybe we'll be able to sell some seeds. Maybe not. You know what they're going for in Massachusetts, though? There's a ballot initiative there, which is kind of interesting.
We're looking at Rule 1. Is that what it's called out there?
It's called Question 4, Legalization and Regulation of Psychedelic Substances Initiative. So it's not just it on the ballot. It's also like trippy shit, man. And it's a Natural Psychedelic Substance Commission and Advisory Board to regulate and license of psychedelic substances and services, including the administration of psychedelic substances to individuals 21 and over. 15% tax, and then 2% additional levy on top of that. They aren't the first one. This is going to be interesting because Colorado's, we aren't dabbling in it yet, but like, once you understand how you do the applications, like, one of the things that collateral base should diversify into is government contract acquisition. Well, we should just start drafting requests for proposals for government money. Like, that's what cannabis licensing very often is just creating a completely compliant, dictionary thick application for why you will be good with a license. So we could do that for like $2 billion otherwise it's going to Raytheon, man. Think about it. You don't want it to go to Raytheon.
I mean, when it comes to business side of things, I know what you're saying. Like, we like to develop more into this, but like, they're really just jumping into the pool here, doing both with psychedelics and cannabis, right? Like, every other state has done it one at a time. So,
no, Massachusetts has been legal. Massachusetts is like the OG of the East Coast, them and Maine. And so, like, Massachusetts has been legal since at least, I think, 8 years ago for weed. Weed's legal in Massachusetts. This is for the next step. And so, like, we're kind of getting into more legalization news. Now psychedelics are starting to show up on the ballot initiatives. And so Colorado's already done that, and they have their licensing window for psychedelics, which we haven't. I mean, we could start marketing and prepping that, but just stick it in our wheelhouse for now.
I mean, it's plant medicine though, right? Psychedelics is
it's government shit. And so like
yeah.
when you write grants or when you write license applications or you write like requests for proposals for government contracts, there's a specific way that you have to do it to be compliant, to be able to get all the eligibility points and therefore be awarded the government contract or be awarded the government license, those types of things.
Right on. Yeah. I mean, well, again, this is like for a plant product versus like say like something I would do would be like a DoD contract for like servicing equipment. You know what I mean?
But,
It's all kind of the same business.
If you read the two applications, they would be very like just
yeah,
like
that's
dry,
what I'm trying to convey to the
like
audience.
very dry, mind-numbingly boring. It's like this reads like instructions. Yes, it does. Yes,
And
it
that's
does.
business. That's legalization. That's the worst part of this whole like shebang is like it's so boring, and that's who wins, right? That's the culture as far as like the real backbone of things go. But then you have people like the trapper market will go away one day. It'll become
but the trapper market, like we just won in some of our clients just won in Delaware this past weekend, and shout out to the clients that won in Delaware. Congratulations. But we were working on their apps as it closed up, and then you're going through it, making sure it's all complete, and it was dozens of pages long, and it's just boring. Like it's just like reading instructions, and it's like, why does it do this? Because it has to. Yeah. Because it has to. If you don't say this, it's not complete. You're not going to get the license or the government benefit.
Well, this is regulation, right? This is why rescheduling is so important, because like right now with the recent McDonald's Equalize stuff, right? Like, how did they narrow it down to McDonald's? Is it because there's traceability, where they narrowed it down to like these common locations, the CDC or whoever it was that investigate. This is why we need also government bodies, right? EPA is important and all the other shit. So,
right.
This goes back to the elections. Like, for the love of God, vote and go Kamala. Like this is now the past 4 years have proven that's what the infrastructure.
Now, hang on a second. I want to piss off at least 60% of our audience, not because I want to do that, but I'm just going to say, like, remember, deregulation. Deregulation like takes away all the onerous government interference that prevents business from doing its job. For example, 4 years ago, when everybody who's voting for Trump was much, much better off, he deregulated certain aspects that would have helped prevent the terrible crap that happened because of COVID. But you didn't want to do it, and you guys don't seem to give him any credit for like completely crashing the economy for a pandemic that he could have been way more prepared for. Whatever, just saying.
They're gaslighting right now, right? People have like short-term memories, but also though, why did he lose the first time?
I'm sorry, what were you talking about? What?
Yes,
like short-term memories.
But like the people who are, what do you call it? Like weird, culty, worse. Like I don't have like
Nazis.
But like whatever this right-wing thing is, I don't even know if it's conservative, like what people call. Because at least
I don't know. I just miss the days of Reagan. Like it's the days of Reagan, Romney, and John McCain, George W. Bush. Like they were decent Americans. They were just kind of stiff, They just had like something shoved up their butt, and you're like, okay, man, can you like chill out at all? And now everybody says they're punk rock, and I'm like, man, I never thought I would live to be old enough that Republicans would be punk rock. But Joe Rogan was talking about that shit. We're going to talk about that shit.
Well, it's the people mad about Rage Against the Machine or the guys that wear Punisher skulls. Like it's just weird. Like you're it's the opposite. Like is this an ironic thing? Because you were the thing. It's like I have become the thing I hate, right? Like where the thing that you're trying to represent is not so representing of you because it just looks dumb. Because the Punisher was out against the bad guys, right? They were trying to fight the Nazis. There's like this whole methodical, like, what is America, right? Like
America is a consortium of white male, what are they called? Nationalists. Yes. And so like it is a state where you do what we tell you and we call it freedom.
Well, the rules, right?
It's that time, baby.
Take a break.
That's why we're taking next week off. We don't want to be like sitting there going like, oh shit, what's going to happen? We'll wait until after it's over. All right. See you in a bit. Oh, you know what? You can catch me on Wednesday in Scottsdale at the Monarch for Mita's meetup. It is their no October meetup. It's going to be Halloween themed, I believe. I will be going as Ted from Bill and Ted, or
Nice.
I will be going as John Wick if I can find a beard to wear. Yep. And so, like, I hope to see you guys out there. If you're in Arizona, I'm going to, Mita crew is great people. Dimitri, for example, we'll have him on shortly because we're going to be at MJ Biz in about 5 weeks, bro.
Hell yeah,
dude. So like first week of December, MJ Biz, we'll be hanging out at the Mita tent. Well, it's not a tent, booth area where we'll be interviewing other manufacturers' licenses. So if you are checking this out and you're on a manufacturer's license and you want to talk about it at MJ Biz, hit me up, man.
Yeah, let's talk
over
business.
At Cannabis Industry Lore. Yeah.
I mean, it's unsexy, right? This is not like where we have stories of like trading packs and smuggling across the border. No, instead, it's more like you sit in a room, you lay out some numbers, and you hope this is what is good enough for you. Because the exciting part for us is going to be a store. Like we are closer and closer, and
it's a fascinating thing. And then I will do content on it. I might even write a book with it because of the methods that we're using to start the store are fascinating. But at the same time, we'll see. Like, we're getting closer and closer to finding like if we can get zoning. And so like tune in for after the election. Hopefully Miggy and I are zoned by January.
Right. So we got some Nebraska
news. Let's talk about Nebraska. Go for it. Knock out the Nebraska news.
Well, it's Initiative 437. We're going to go for a yes. What will it do? Initiative 437 would adopt the Nebraska Medical Cannabis Patient Protection Act, which would authorize qualified patients to use, possess, and acquire up to 5 ounces of marijuana to alleviate to treat medical. So it's a medical initiative, not a recreational. I thought it was going to be recreational, but
no, Nebraska's further behind than you'd think. But I like it. 5 ounces in for Nebraska for patients. Now, the funniest thing is because of IHDs and the hemp market, you can buy all the weed you want in Omaha. And they're just calling it THCA flower. They're just calling it whatever new IHD they've made up and put into a bazillion gram vape. All of that is there, and you can find it. So it just kind of goes to show that the politics probably is going to line back up. It's like a disturbance in the forest where you're like, wow, they really hate this stuff when it comes from nature. But you go into a lab with something you called hemp that has a little bit of it, and you come back with something that gets you really, really high, and they just don't know. That's why. They just don't know. The average person, when you talk to them about like hemp, they go, you mean like CBD?
Yeah.
Well, not.
And again, it's part of the education of legalization with the hemp marijuana conversation and wellness. And one of the things that that I like, so the Nebraska and the next 2 states we're going to talk about, North and South Dakota, that whole section of America seems to be like this forgotten cousin that like, I thought like the internet would bring us all on the same page, but like unfortunately with these people, you have to explain like what kind of benefit legalizing this plant would bring, not just like not the collapse of the nation, but also like here in Washington State, there's an article on the Spokesman Review about how there's a discrepancy of our seed to sale tracking program and what the state has recorded, right? So the tracking program thinks like 7.3 billion. It's $1 billion.
It's a lot of numbers.
Are sold. Now what was actually registered was 1.3 billion dollars. Fucking
less.
Nation state money, right? Like billion.
Yeah, it's less. It's clearly less. Right.
But like the Nebraska, they could use this revenue, right? And they're beautiful parts of the country.
I don't think, yes, but I don't think there's that many people that live in Nebraska. I mean, seriously, they would have left if they had something better to do.
Wow, the tourism could be a thing if that's what they want. I mean, there's so many options that
2 million
being negated.
2 million. Wait, come on.
Well, they're farm country too, right?
Yeah, but like it's basically like the population of New Mexico, bro. There's like nobody there.
So we're like trying to convince like 10 people right now. Is that what?
And they all love Trump.
Is?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like
you can love weed too. They do? A lot of people do.
Yeah. I don't get it. All right. That blue dot. Can the blue dot legalize it? There'll be like 1/3 of Nebraska that has legal weed. And the other 2/3 will drive to it.
I've been through those places, right? And like you go through with like a certain expectation, but not everybody's bad, And I think that's why I think there's a good chance for Kamala and this progress that we have going forward, because rescheduling is going to change things.
No way, man. Donald Trump's going to win. Everybody who's voting for Trump, be confident that he's going to win. Polls are never wrong.
Yeah, go out November 8th. That's election day.
Yes, November 8th is the election day. It's on a third Friday this year. So they wanted more participation.
It's a shame we don't get that day off.
I am not lying to you.
I swear. Right. But you hope there's like this intellect of and I think I do. There is, right? There's this average intelligence that we have as Americans, where I think we see the adult, we see how things are happening. Like, I don't know what other people do, like how this past 4 years have been bad, besides the fear mongering about like your jobs being taken by illegals, right? Where is your life? Or what? They're manipulating the weather so like they can knock out the port. What the fuck is going on, dude? What timeline are we on?
Right. What like Jon Stewart on his Daily Show was like that this week. Where it's like, wait, did we all die in COVID? Just because like how bananas stuff has gotten. But stuff's pretty nuts. And what can you do except for take it a day at a time, and then you just kind of watch AI getting better and better at everything that you do for a living.
Oh hell, the robot masters.
Oh, they will be here in 12 months.
We got North Dakota. I'll go for it, bro.
Well, I think we should name that strain because like I don't think the AI will replace this for years.
Nice.
Years. Yeah.
Nice segue.
I think we have a clip.
No, I think Will's on the camera. Is he away? Will, you away?
Okay.
Yeah, we're live, baby.
Yes, we are, and we also have a new setup for Name That Strain. Try to smell it. Oh yes, smell-o-vision has still not been invented.
Oh yeah,
no. Well, that is fun. Those are the things that you do with an advanced degree. So it is a hybrid strain, and it is a genetic cross between Super Runts, that's runts with a cape on it, and ADL. This strain is gassy and fruity hybrid, lemon and diesel flavor, hints of cherry and mint.
And we got a riddle.
Almost said the name of it. This one needs to be sent to a different testing lab because they listed at 37.54% THC. And its effects include euphoric, relaxed, and hangry.
So we have a little hint. Gotta have faith in the strain before you go. Freedom can be everything she wants if you were there. This last Christmas, it might have felt like smoking the strain was the edge of heaven. I had a different intro.
George Michael.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks, Cole. Hey, we had a new member today, too. Thanks. Shout out to Patrick Larson. Thanks for
Patrick Larson. Thank you for becoming a member.
Yeah, man.
And then the Cole memo. Check out the Cole memo.
Yeah.
He threw us $2, and we, and by we I mean me, was just on his channel. So go check out the Cole memo channel. I debated somebody about hemp for like almost 2 hours.
I don't get it though. How do you guys? What's their debate about, dude? The same plant, but we just need to get this post
policy.
Post
How does it work? How do you get it to that place? Like, I mean, you're talking about Nebraska, and I think some of the stuff we're going to get into later is how there's just such political crap that come to these ballot initiatives already. Like we've seen it in Florida. Like DeSantis is just going ham to try to get this thing defeated with any doctor that'll take a press conference with him to say how bad it is. And then meanwhile, he's got Franken hemp like all over the state.
Dude, again, this goes back to leadership. That guy using the government to use his agenda, right? Like was like petitioning against something that could be an option for the people. That's insane. And then creating this divide amongst a stupid ass plant. Like we're so divided as Americans in different topics But I think on the most, like cannabis is one of those ones where we just educate people and they're like, oh, you're right. That was much ado about nothing. That was a nothing burger.
Yeah, it was. And so, like, speaking of that, I mean, like, this is one of the ones. Before we get to the Dakotas, I don't think this one made it into the show notes, but did you see what's going on in Arkansas? And so, like, Arkansas has the prejudice and the bias going at it right now. So votes won't be counted for Arkansas medical marijuana ballot and measure, says their Supreme Court. And that's out of October 21st by the Associated Press. So Arkansas voters won't weigh in on a ballot initiative to expand medical marijuana after the Supreme Court ruled the measure didn't fully explain what it would do, tossing the initiative out just 2 weeks before the election. And so that goes to show, like, you know, when the General Assembly or the legislature makes the law, oh, let me just bend over backwards and allow a THCO and intoxicating hemp to be literally within the compliance term of the statute. And then meanwhile, when you have a ballot initiative that's going to be put to the voters, it's like, nope, you don't fully explain it. And then they just throw it out. And so much of court rulings are political. And so, like, with the whole the past year, like, where the Chevron doctrine's not a thing, Roe v. Wade's not a thing. Like, just 40 years of precedent gone because of politics.
Well, that's my point. Is like the one side wants to be the side that's destructive and thinks like, oh, you kill all the regulatory bodies, and now we're gonna give you more easier for the average American to create a business. That's bullshit. What it does is it makes it more easier for the big people with money to have the chicanery, the fuckery, right? Like, if how much stuff is banned in Europe that we can't eat here, or we can eat here.
Oh, it's like 4,000 more ingredients.
Yeah,
something like that. Like, there's like less than 1,000 ingredients that are allowed to be food in Europe, and there's like more than 4,000 in America.
It's bananas. But back to the stream. What we got here? Gotta have a little faith, baby. What is this? A hybrid indica?
Yes, it is. It's a hybrid. George Michael's band. That's the name of the strain, everybody.
Just laying it out there, man. You're just like, God damn it. Somebody old no. Come on, old people. True.
I tell you what, I can't believe that, like, the viewers. There's 204 people.
Our average viewer is 50.
Thank you, John.
Yes,
for saying what clearly needed to be said. Why they think Wham is 37.54% THC has to be because it's the greatest band in the history of the world, or they sent it to like a shady lab or maybe the sample was adulterated. I don't know. I just don't think that is 37.5% THC. Could be wrong. Probably not.
No, 100%. It's always about the test results. Do we have a little song bumper?
Or maybe. Do we got
he's got the white. That's where you got internet in Kentucky.
Oops.
Ma'am.
Yes. Now to the Dakotas. We have news out of both, which means I think we're talking about less than 2 million people, pretty much like in Nebraska again. And so North Dakota Measure 5. North Dakota Measure 5 marijuana legalization initiative on the ballot. A yes vote supports legalizing recreational marijuana, allowing individuals to possess up to 1 ounce, 4 grams of concentrate, 300 milligrams of edibles, and allowing individuals to grow 3 plants with a 6-plant limit per household. That would have gotten denied in Florida because they said, and allowing individuals to grow 3 plants, because that they would have attacked that for the single subject rule violation.
Well, each state's different, right? The chicanery that happens in each state.
Yes. You see a lot of echoes of the same crap, but yes, you have to read you'd be like, there's law here in this state. Give it to me. And then there's usually variants on it, but there's a lot that's the same, you know?
But like, isn't this like Groundhog Day? Was it North or South Dakota that it went through, but then it got battled down because of an extra word or direction or something like that? Like,
let me see who's got that one crazy dog killer as the governor.
Nome.
Yeah. Who's got Nome as the governor? North
But what?
Dakota,
There's
South
North, yeah.
Dakota, South Dakota, Christie Home. Right. And so North Dakota, no. South Dakota, they have some chicanery, but North Dakota's population's only 800,000. What about South Dakota?
Wow, it's like a small city.
Like, no shit. That's like Seattle.
Yeah, no, 100%. I really hope like North and South, and people are just. It's unfortunate that the people in power are the ignorant ones and the ones that have the ability to create rules based on their feelings. Like that's been like the American like process we've been fighting for a long time, making rules based on your feelings, right? Like poor Kentucky, Tennessee, like they all have this like stigma about it, right? Like I say banjos, you know what I'm talking about automatically. There's certain things you just don't have to like dig deep into, but
movie
North and South, maybe like hopefully these guys get caught up, because I think that the revenues that come in from this and the potential is just going to enable the poor citizen who wants to get involved, or even the sick patient, right? This benefits a fucking average American. This is not a Seattle, Washington, even though like my life is easy. I just went and got some Obama Kush at the store.
Thumbs up for the Obama Kush, everybody. And then don't forget to hit the subscribes. We just talked about one big flyover state with about 800,000 people. Let's go to the big flyover state right underneath it with about 900,000 people. So between the two of them, you have less than the population of Nebraska. And that makes 1, 2, 3 of the 4 states legalizing it, because Arkansas got tossed. These states, these red states, they don't have a lot of people in them. Like, what's the population of Washington State? Like 7, 8 million?
Something like that. But what it just occurred to me, because you have these two competing states who are border states, but the winner of these two states is going to pull in all that revenue I've been talking about. The winner of these two states, if both win, you're going to have an overall fair market. But if one, legalizes it, and then the governor decides not to put a lawsuit against it to stimmy it, we'll be racking in so much dough. Not that gas station weed.
Not that gas station weed, which, but then like there's just not that many people, but still, like they should have the right to vote for their own legalization. And now it's different. And so like it looks like South Dakota's got that more stringent, like single subject kind of thing. I think that's what Governor Noem attacked. And so in South Dakota, there it's called Initiated Measure 29. Yes, on 29 in South Dakota. So they had to put a lot of signatures, 22,000 valid signatures to get it on the November ballot. It appears that it has one of those single subjects where it's vote yes to adopt the measure, vote no to leave South Dakota law as is. And I believe the measure is this: South Dakota already has laws that allow people to use marijuana products for health reasons. We cannot sacrifice the health and safety of our children and our communities for this addiction for profit industry, leaving South Dakotans to pay the price. Vote yes to adopt the measure, vote no to leave South Dakota as is. Like almost as they put some editorial comment into it, but I'm not sure if that's literally it. I'm gonna have to pull up the article on that. The Ballotpedia.
And again, to actually have legalization that we all want and love one day, where you can go to the store, buy seeds. And so like in Washington State, I still can't buy seeds. Like that rule it's just weird, right? Or there's very many variables that you're surprised when you learn about our state. And also when I learn about your state, I'm like, okay, that makes sense why you have less robberies, because you guys structured your infrastructure a certain way. Whereas like Arizona has legal weed, but now there's an ordinance about to come up in this upcoming election, because it's that time where you can do taxes and get extra revenue or create change for policies and laws. And there's what would you say, a township, an area that's proposing to tax medical marijuana upcoming, which obviously will be a fucking incumbent. So this local amendment 1 in, let's see if I can find the township, Coleman County. Like what would you say, rescheduling it? It's not going to be legalization until it's codified, right? Till there's absolute protections, till people aren't harassed, or someone has the ability to harass somebody for smoking something that looks like a rolled up cigarette. You know, like how do we get to that point? Legalization is overall
legalization. I have the text of the ballot initiative from South Dakota now, and it's pretty long, and so it may still have the single subject aspects of it, or however they sued previously. But it says, and there's an attorney general explanation of it. And so, like, the attorney general has said, this is what it means, I guess: vote yes to adopt, vote no to not. But adults 21 and older possess, grow, ingest, and distribute marijuana or marijuana possession. Individuals may possess up to 2 ounces in a form other than concentrate. Individuals may possess up to 6 plants with no more than 12 per household, and limits on the possession of other forms of marijuana products. Of course, you'd still have DUIs, and who can possess it. They allows employers to restrict employees' use of it, which, there you go. It's not really legal if your boss says no.
Right.
And does not affect state laws dealing with hemp. So it doesn't do anything about the frankenweed. And so there you go. It says judicial or legislative clarification of this measure may be necessary.
So really all we, in this process that we gotten so far in every state, is just legalizing consumption, right? And even technically in Washington State, you need to own the property you're on, right? And then you can consume. As a renter, I can't legally consume if my landlord said you can't do that, which, for the most part, you respect like the rights or whatever was being asked of you wherever you're at. But then you're home, because America, you expect to like have this freedom. But like, unless you actually own the property, you don't. And so that's what each state's so different, the law. We need this parity. This thing that's going to be equal everywhere, not just here for consumption, because that's all we're legalizing, just the right to go buy it at a store, not the right to grow.
Right. Yeah, and that's very true. Like in South Dakota, it looks a little different, but after the election and after November, then we can start to see what federal policy might look like through an actual new rule. I hope the rule's here and enforced before we open our doors, because I don't want to have to keep 2 separate sets of books for tax liability purposes.
Yeah.
I might have to, but we'll see.
Well, nor do we want to be constantly milked for something that can be established.
Right.
Like a store.
Yeah. Let's say you did 50 large last month in gross revenue or gross profits. Give a fifth of that to Uncle Sam every month, and then pay all your expenses. If you usually are allowed to pay all your expenses before you got to pay Uncle Sam.
But like, again, we're just trying to search for a fair way to do business. So I want to be able just to focus on a community. I want to be able to focus on the market that we're going to be serving, because it's not YouTube. It's going to be Pekin, Illinois. Is it how you say it? Pekin?
Yeah, it's got an interesting past, let's say.
I get it.
The demographic appears good.
Yeah. It's fucking America, man. That's whatever, man. Like, I'm not scared, but like,
compared to like where you're from, or like compared to Seattle, it's church.
No, a bullet's a bullet, man. Fucking, that's the thing about life, right?
Crime's not that bad. Like, they just might try to steal your copper pipes to get some meth out of it. But other than that, hey, that's why we're offering natural products that are much better than meth.
Well, and again, this is why. Let me see if it's still up there. We might. Oh, I think it was deleted. Never mind. Remember that meme I made where like Samuel L. Jackson's all wild-eyed? Mm-hmm. Like that's what the intensity of beginning of running a store and having this unknown is going to be, but it's also going to be exciting and fun. And I know it's going to be winter, because there's no other option. But we're going to be the numbers look so good, and just serving other people is going to be what we're looking at, right? To give a good product, a good experience. Maybe not the best. We're going to be good.
Right. Well, that's correct. And so if you try to say you're the best, you're just setting yourself up for failure. But if you're good, you can usually hit that, and then eventually that brand expectation is, that's good. But anyway, that's our show. That's our election special. And then after that, it's just us. And a lot of the viewers, they don't like it. When we talk about how it is to get a dispensary going. Some of the viewers do. Like, a lot of the people that watch the show are in the industry, and like sometimes they own dispensaries, and it's stuff that's relevant to their craft.
Well, see, that's us starting this and how we've been doing this. I never thought about like the revenue side as far as like actually coming from a fucking store, right? Like the position we're in, you and I as friends in this plant and everything is evolved into a point where we won, and now we're just building on to the next step. And I think that's what makes for the content, right? Like this is just a casual conversation of just us trying to figure out how to fucking legalize it, and then one day we won something because you've been actually actively involved with contracts and shit. That
I've been winning. Like I have not lost a case. Like our clients, not me. Our clients, we compliantly apply for all of them, but we have not lost a lottery in over a year.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
And you're dealing with people who, the investors. There's people with money actually, which always surprises me because I spent my time as an adult to learn a trade, skill set to sustain my living, my life, and you've done that as well. But like the passion that we had for this plant because of the law so egregious, and but we're getting there. Fucking way better than.
It's going to be so much easier to do the show if there was a budget as opposed to just hustling for other people. But we have to wait and see. And so if you guys want to continue to see how it is, and I tell you what, the production value will get better if we can get open. Definitely. It is kind of fun seeing those people that have money and they have like no subscribers. I'm like, oh, they're clearly not making their money from this.
I really appreciate the people who've been hanging out with us, right? We're hanging out in people's grows, people's shops, people's stores. We've seen varieties of the way the media works,
right?
And yeah, man, thanks for hanging.
That's right. And no matter what, we will go to bat to make sure that seeds are always hemp, because like I don't understand how seeds can't be hemp. It's like, but it will make THC. Yeah, unless I eat it, or like I'd have to like, where does the crime begin?
Well, are opium seeds banned?
I don't think so.
No.
But I'm pretty sure that somewhere between the opium seed, making the flower, harvesting those little resin pods, cutting the resin pods, collecting the resin, starting to make it into the drug, somewhere along that timeline of events has to be where you're not allowed to do that begins.
Well,
and hemp should always have the seeds, because you're talking months.
Yeah.
Months and thousands of affirmative acts to get to that point.
Is that the new fight then? Defining the fight for the legal definition, right? Like this 0.1%, 0.3% dumb. Like any percent.
But then like let's say they change that to psychoactive. Like it becomes not a line in the sand, and it becomes an intention.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
like you are now regulating the use. Just like if you take an orange and you throw it at somebody, it's different than if you want to make that into orange juice. And so now you've reflected that the plant is being created into these products to go into human consumption. So I think that's probably where the definitional change needs to happen. And so like if you just would have put like all non-psychoactive extracts, we wouldn't be here.
If you think about it, in context, how everybody says Trump legalized weed, right? Because of the hemp farm bill or whatever, right? What has been legalized has been gas station weed, right? Like it's been a non-natural form with intent from the farmer, from the growers, to actually care and make the best of this plant versus, we got to stop this bitch right now because it's going to test hot like in a week. So there is a thing about the quality of the experience that a person can have with the intent with the grow, right? And real cannabis that you grow, it's like versus the reason why I go to the store, because the only thing if I were to grow a garden would be a salad. One salad's all I can really grow. It'd be like one little tomato.
You don't have the best garden. Like we can grow some shit, but whatever. Yeah. Like that has been a wonderful short episode because the Bears are playing, and so I'm gonna go wrap this up. We will see you after maybe who's won the election. You'll know like who's won most of the elections. We just might not know who's the president is. I got to travel a lot this week, so I'm not planning on making any videos this week.
I'm gonna do one for. So I did one on tech. We're working with our editing. I saw a lot of people talk about how choppy we get sometimes. It's just we're trying to work on it. But I'm doing one. I think I want to do one for first-time consumers. Another pre-scripted one.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck, this would be. Hey, we should like give a message to our future selves because it's gonna be on the other side of the election. Like, it's okay. It's gonna be okay.
Oh, right. Yeah. Ted, don't forget to wind your watch. Okay. I guess like the 2024 version of that is charge. Yeah.
Right on. So you'll be at the MITA then, right?
I'll be at MITA on Wednesday. And so if you're in Scottsdale at the, what is it called? I think it's called the Monarch. I haven't been to Arizona. I'm excited to go and to see the good people there, and then get out of there and come back and do some trick-or-treating with the kiddos.
Nice. Right on, dude.
Yep. All right. Thank you for tuning in. And if you are a member, your name is in the credits. See you after the election.
It'll be okay.